Hello everyone, and welcome to my Sister Wives For You channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Money apparently speaks, as do ex-wives. On the February 2nd edition of TLC's Sister Wives, Janelle Brown discussed how she, Kody Brown, and his other wife handled their finances. When it comes to the Brown family's financial position, it appears that what occurs in Vegas stays there. Because during the 2 decades that Sister Wives star Kody Brown and his wives Meri Brown, Janelle Brown, Christine Brown, and Robyn Brown shared a Utah spread before moving into separate residences on the same cul-de-sac in Las Vegas, it was a combined pot of money, Janelle explained on the February 2nd episode of the TLC series, and we just took care of whoever needed to be taken care of. In April 2019, the mother of Logan Brown, 30, Madison Brush, 29, Hunter Brown, 27, the late Garrison Brown, Gabriel Brown, 23, and Savannah Brown, 20, sold her 6-bedroom Las Vegas home for $574,900. She used the money to help Robyn buy a 5-bedroom home in Flagstaff, Arizona, a few months later. I really thought that by putting my resources towards Robyn's house that eventually the time would come around, would be our turn, my turn, Christine's turn, Meri's turn, whatever, Janelle said me. But that never really happened. Suddenly, there was a shift in perspective that resources weren't for the benefit of the entire family, Janelle told me. Furthermore, Janelle said that it seems to be a very big hot button for Kody and Robyn, even though she hasn't shied away from discussing the shift in their one-size-fits-all approach to money. And they're always trying to revise history about how things were paid, or what was paid. But Kody believes his ex-wife is the one who has a fuzzy recall of their situation. I tried to help Janelle buy a house, and she got mad at me, Kody insisted at first. She wanted that RV lifestyle, I guess. Alternatively, she didn't want to live in a house with bad karma. She mentioned in the episode that Kody regularly says, "Well, I offered to help you buy a house." Well, he wanted me to buy Christine's house, which I didn't really like. When the family first moved to Arizona in 2018, they spent $820,000 for a 14-acre plot called Coyote Pass, so she picked up an RV and drove it there. Robyn explained that, while Kody and his spouses never accomplished their dream of building their ideal compound on the property, they never stopped supporting one another. When asked about the family's spending plan, Kody's only surviving wife answered, "This is a tough conversation for me, because I'm just like, wait a minute, we worked together for so long and I helped so much with these earlier years. Like for me, it's like, this feels balanced." Her husband would frequently agree, blaming his ex-girlfriend's unexpected candor about money on their subsequent breakups, which included Christine's 2021 news of their divorce, Janelle's December 2022 revelation of her separation from Kody, and Meri's prompt response. "Now that everybody's broken up, they want to say I didn't get something, or I gave something but you didn't," he said. "We were just making sure everybody was taken care of." Naturally, he and his ex-partners have previously shared their thoughts on their spending habits. Take a look at their other admissions this season, including their discussion of money. Kody Brown stated his intention to divorce his first wife, Meri Brown, shortly after their 1990 wedding vows. However, Meri stated in the September 15th premiere that he led me to believe that he would work on things by saying, "Oh Meri, when we move to Flagstaff, this will be a good time to have a new beginning for us," referring to their 2018 relocation. Like he led me to believe those things. This is what he's done for many, many years. Her main gripe, she said, was his lack of communication and how he really felt and what he really wanted or what he really didn't want, and the story that he's been telling for all these years. Kody also agreed that there may have been mixed messages, but only because, as he put it, "I'm like, why would I do this?" when he started working on it. "I would not court and date her now." In any case, when Meri finally pulled the plug in early 2023, her friends were overjoyed. They're like, "Okay, we're here for you, we're supporting you. And it's about damn time," she told me. "Because if he can push me out and I leave, he's not the bad guy because he didn't walk away," she says, hinting that he had been attempting to coerce her into leaving him for years by stating he didn't love her. In the season premiere, Kody stated that he was willing to let the project die years after the family purchased the 14-acre plot of property in Flagstaff, Arizona, on which they planned to build. Unable to build without paying the whole $820,000 price tag, which the family purportedly did in 2023, he told his surviving wife, Robyn Brown, "I'd almost rather scrap it or sell it and then just start again somewhere else." "I can't talk about that," she said, referring to Robyn. "That is so not where I'm at." Janelle Brown, the second wife, had already informed E! News, "We just kind of started to grow apart," but she eventually left due to Kody's failings as a dad to numerous of his children. The mother explained to Logan Brown, Madison Brown Brush, Hunter Brown, Garrison Brown, Gabriel Brown, and Savannah Brown, "The big spark for me was when his relationship broke down with my children, and he didn't seem like he would move heaven and earth to fix it. And I thought, okay, that was what was really holding me here." Janelle refused to consider reconciliation, even when Kody brought it up in the November 3rd episode. "I don't know how I would ever reconcile with him and have him not have a relationship with my kids," she talked about. "No, I'm going to always choose my kids." That was Kody's explanation for not working more to resolve the issues he was having with some of his adult children. "I don't fit in with the family anymore," he stated in an episode that aired on September 15th. Dayton, Aurora, Brianna, Solomon, and Ariella Brown are the 5 children he and Robyn are raising together. He said further, "And then I have some relationship with some of the other kids, and it's infrequent. And so I'm like, what do I do with all of this? It doesn't feel like a family. We're probably doing the worst we've ever done in our marriage," Robyn acknowledged in season 19's debut, despite the fact that they were completely monogamous for the first time in their 14-year marriage. "It's been tough between us." He doesn't know who to blame, himself or one of the other wives. "Kody's feeling a lot of rejection, and so I think he's kind of looking at me going, are you going to reject me too?" "The worst part," she summed, "was that there's no resource to help with the idea that I'm still married to a man who's going through divorces. As a result," she revealed, "I'm on my toes. I'm having to consistently make sure that he's not sabotaging our relationship." Kody confessed, "I can't look myself in the mirror and say, hey dude, I love you." He was going through a confidence crisis. Robyn found it tough to see her former sister, wives enjoying their new era. "They're all moving on," she stated in an episode that aired October 27th. "I feel like the idiot that got left behind." Add Madison, Janelle's oldest daughter, to the list of children Kody does not currently see. During the film's premiere, Janelle said, "I am aware that Maddie has not spoken to her father. She's not called him, and she doesn't have any relationship with Robyn. She's pretty much written them both off." Kody's strained relationship with Maddie's children, Axel, Evangeline, and Josephine, is the issue, according to Janelle. She doesn't really want him to have any contact unless he can commit. Janelle revealed on the September 22nd episode that when the family started to really dissolve, Kody did sort of cut off communication with Maddie and her husband Caleb Brush, whose sister married Kody's brother. "Maddie has been mama bear to the extreme," Janelle added, "since Kody hasn't called or come to see her. She has felt like until he can be consistent and show up and not be dramatic that she feels like it's probably better if they don't know about him." Robyn noted that she has been pressuring Kody to make amends, but she also stated, "I believe the children should be doing the same thing." Kody, on the other hand, seemed unprepared to fix the divide for the time being, stating that every time he spoke with his daughter, it was a fish for gossip, and I got tired of it. He was alluding to the fact that he never loved me and felt compelled to marry me, Mary admitted in a talk with her friend Brandy during the September 15th premiere, as they celebrated their 32nd anniversary. "I told him, Kody, I know you loved me." In a confessional, Leon Brown's mother questioned why he even proposed if he didn't. Why would a single young guy choose to marry a single young woman and announce and induce love for her if he had no feelings for her? "How cruel is that?" she asked. "I chose you to try to force myself to love for the next 32 years, he said, pulling me out of a crowd. In his confessional, Kody said, "Oh, Mary has her little allegations now. Okay, she is allowed to say whatever she wants. I'll refrain from commenting on it." He would acknowledge, though, that they never enjoyed their honeymoon. On October 20th, he said, "This marriage was on the rocks the entire marriage." And how would I know that? Because my relationships with Robyn, Christine, and Janelle were so much better. Despite admitting that he should have gotten out of the relationship 25 years ago, he stayed because he was terrified, claiming, "Leadership will never allow you to marry again if you're discarding wives." "I think I'm going to have to lawyer up," Janelle admitted to former sister-wife Christine Brown in the September 22nd episode, "because I think that's the only way I'm ever going to get any kind of decision out of him." Janelle stated that step one was to pay off the Arizona property, even though she wasn't sure if she wanted to build on Coyote Pass or just sell it. "Without a valid marriage to Kody," Janelle admitted, "I really have no legal rights to make any kind of claim on Kody's property." In her own words, "It's not like I'm just calling a lawyer and saying I need to divorce this person." There is no legal marriage, which complicates matters. Kody believes he no longer trusted Janelle, therefore he did not discuss their Arizona property with her. "We will pay off the property when the time comes," he stated during a confessional in the September 22nd episode, adding, "And I'm not giving you any details about what I'm doing or whatever, because I'm tired of disclosing information that goes through the gossip mill of our broken family." In her own interview, Janelle described it as a case of pot calling the kettle black. "He leaks like a sieve," she explained. "He told me stuff about his other relationships and his other wives that I was like, I don't think you're supposed to be telling me that." When their love was still growing rather than dwindling, the family would put all of their money into a single pot. On the September 22nd episode, Janelle noted, "Up until the last 10 or so years, that's how it always worked. We'd use all of our resources to help one person, and then we'd all rally to support the other person. Suddenly, it's about my estate, even if everyone needs their own estate." When Robyn needed a place to live, they all pitched in to help her buy a $1.65 million 5-bedroom home in Arizona. It went up for sale in August. According to Robyn, the idea was to aid the family. However, when Janelle suggested that they all put their names on the mortgage, she was turned down. Kody was like, No, we need to protect, Robyn's estate," Janelle recounted. "Therefore, now that she's leaving the family, she would like her portion of the Coyote Pass income, and I'd like to recoup some of the money I put into Robyn's house. However, it may be tough to sell. We were working together for so long," Robyn stated, adding, "It's like, how do you calculate?" After Janelle claimed she owed them money. "What is your method for calculating that?" "It's very perplexing. I see all the art on their walls," Janelle said of Robyn and Kody's house, "but I've seen him grab other assets like trailers and home decor." Janelle complained about the family's failure to pay for Coyote Pass, saying that Kody claimed to have all these other debts. "And that's okay. I have money, and I've spent it on things too." Kody claimed that a large portion of his money was used to purchase cars, basically had a fleet, and child insurance. "I used to always be surprised at how nice her backyard was," Janelle recalled, adding that she wasn't sure how Kody and Robyn managed their costs. "It was done, and there was always stuff at her house. And I thought, wow. Huh." Finally, she wore herself down by repeating, "He doesn't prioritize what I need or want." "I suppose after a while, I began to realize it, and my kids were getting very furious about it, particularly my adult children." Mom, what the hell? However, Robyn believes she was exceedingly frugal after her first marriage failed. During the September 22nd show, she revealed, "I used to be not so great with money. When I was young, I had hard knocks, and then I learned during my divorce really how to budget myself very, very well." When asked about her fellow sister wives, she replied, "You just must have had a different priority of where your money was going to go than I did. That's all." While she and Christine, the mother of Aspen Brown, Michael T. Brown Padron, Paydon Brown, Gwendolyn Brown, Isabel Brown, and Truly Brown, gather with their children, Janelle confessed in the September 22nd episode that there's no contact, really, with Mary, Robyn, or Kody. "I don't think that is going to change anything. Everything was going well, and it was lovely to have Maddie and Caleb around. And I adored Caleb. He was absolutely like family," Kody continued. referring to their arrangement of 4 residences on a cul-de-sac during their stay in Las Vegas as the happiest moment of my life. However, as they disagreed on protocols connected to the coronavirus, things started to fall apart in Arizona. He stated that his bonds with the children deteriorated as a result of his marriages collapsing, adding, "It just made all those relationships go sour." Christine, on the other hand, argued that difficulties existed long before she announced her departure in late 2021. During the broadcast that aired on September 22nd, she remarked, "All the kids that were frustrated way before I left," and that her departure had no effect on his children's relationship with him. Kody can yet improve his relationship with his children. However, it will surely take some effort. "I'm so upset about how I've been treated that I haven't gone over that," Kody said. "Here's the thing. I'm not willing to accept responsibility for things that my wife or ex-wife is sitting there telling them I did. I hope that the contempt will decrease in time. We will be able to find forgiveness and love again." Kody revealed that when he and Meri were officially married at the age of 19 and spiritually married at the age of 21, they didn't really know each other. In order for Kody to legally adopt Robyn's 3 oldest children from her first marriage, they eventually filed for divorce in 2014. He added that everything was a fight, saying, "I can't live in a world where she is constantly angry at me." When we got married, she was very different, and I think there was some baggage that Meri had that I didn't know about, Kody explained. However, he was unable to leave. According to a man in a plural marriage, Kody claimed, he cannot apply for a divorce if he desires to remain faithful to his beliefs. It's not permitted. As a result, I was unable to end the relationship. I didn't want to end the connection, though. I want to know if it was something we could fix and save. Kody continued, "She wasn't nice. She wasn't fun. She wasn't kind, and she wasn't interesting." This is why he told Meri that he felt they'd work things out. "I am bored and trying to be curious with her. But I didn't kick me out," he added, admitting that he could understand Meri's feelings of abandonment. Meri, Janelle, and Christine all agreed to have me leave the house. Meri requested an official separation, known as a release, from their church in late 2022, despite Janelle and Christine's belief that they did not need to divorce Kody because their marriage was never legally valid. In the program airing on September 22nd, she emphasized that each of us 4 ladies married Kody through our church. Of course, we can't all be legally married, but it was what we called a covenant. As a result, I believe it would be best to end it because we don't intend to marry, and I don't want to be permanently bound to him if he doesn't want me. I'm at the point where I think we should simply put this out of our minds entirely. She went on to add that Kody was opposed to the idea because he didn't want to acknowledge the authority of church leaders. Kody clarified his position by saying, "The damage was done so badly that we're not going to reconcile no matter what. But since we are accountable to God, I don't want to be accountable to this church and all their BS. Because getting upset with Meri will turn into a quarrel. I'm going to let her go and do whatever she wants." And it took her a long time to realize that it had been done and over for years, so I simply needed her to leave. "It all went bad, it all went south," Christine explained, describing how a text message argument over a 2021 holiday gift exchange grew especially ugly for the 18 Brown children. Kody and Robyn and their kids were on one side, and they wanted nothing to do with Janelle, me, and our kids. After this text thread, there was a division. But it was never about, "We don't want to see you again. We don't want anything to do with you," Robyn insisted, adding that her 3 older children felt the exchange was emotionally unsafe and needed to distance themselves from the relationship. It was just about, like, "Hey, this got yucky." Gabriel hopes they can find each other again. In the October 13th episode, he admitted, "The thing I want most is to just have a relationship with Robyn's children again. My favorite person to hang out with in middle school was Aurora. And I was constantly trying to get close to Dayton in high school. However, I'm not optimistic about a relationship with Robyn and Dad." When Aurora's mother married Kody in 2010, she insisted on joining the family, saying, "I've been told directly, multiple circumstances by multiple different people, that I was not accepted, that I wasn't their sister, and that they didn't think or perceive me that way." Brianna, her sister, also stated that her parents could have done a better job with, connecting us as a family, and it never really happened. Christine, on the other hand, isn't sure how they prolonged their embrace. Robyn's kids and Robyn were invited to everything, she insisted. I would just say, just come into the house anytime you want. She also stated that Michael T. Brown Padron lived with Robyn's children for a period and that her daughter Isabel Brown was very close to them. There were hard times and my kids were frustrated, but they always consider Robyn's kids their siblings, just the same.